recording.
Okay, it's done.
Moving us on. You recording, Pete?
Yep.
Right, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
My clap was weak.
Mine was as well.
Alright.
I'll
be able to find it. I'll be able to find it, buddy.
It's still significant. It still takes up the whole thing on.
Oh, yeah. Mine
Yeah.
But it just felt like a limp wrist clap.
It was. Mine was like a more of a thud than anything. I apologise.
Disappointing.
Don't worry about it.
That's the energy we bring to this. All right.
I won't judge you. Not one
I'm
bit.
a weak, feeble boy.
Well, let's celebrate Eddie being back as well. That's a nice thing to open the show with.
Yeah.
Obviously, hasn't listened to the previous episodes, but that's
I haven't actually.
on holiday.
I'm 3/4 of the way through the one not last week, but of course I couldn't download the one last week because I've got shit internet over there, so I couldn't hear it. But I think I'm 3/4 of the way through the one before it though. So.
Oh, the first one. The first one.
Yeah, not last week, the week before.
Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Okay.
loving it. Love your comments on my cat room.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad. Yes.
I remember.
Those were good comments.
I think he's got a room for the cats. My dad
At the very
loves
least,
that.
it's a room they shit in.
Yeah.
I was conscious that your dad would be listening. At some
Yes,
point.
he heard it. Yeah. He heard it. Oh dear.
Yeah, I did remember that as well. Right, shall we get cracking?
Let's go.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben
Hello.
and Eddie.
Hello.
That's the way. Welcome back, Eddie.
Eddie's back.
He's back, baby.
Honk, 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 honk. We can't afford sound effects.
Why would we need them when we have you doing that, man? Along with Ben's train impression, I mean, what more do we need?
Choo choo.
Yeah.
There we go. We could cut that. We could do some. I could do that separately and then cut it in. Get a real clean choo choo.
Please don't. But yes, anyway, it is there. But as I said, good to have you back, Eddie. Obviously, you've been gone for 2 weeks. It's felt long. I'm sure for our audience as well. It means more of me, and that can't be good.
It's been pretty weird. I mean, it was only meant to be 1 week, but obviously technological issues.
The cat room, yes.
The cat room. The room of cats.
Cat room was the problem. Yeah.
For the record, it's not a cat room. It's, to be fair, it kind of is because it's an office, but my parents don't use it, so it's literally.
Does
just
the cat
where,
have that room for itself?
Yes, both of them do.
It's a cat. It's a cat room.
It's their room. Yeah, it's their room.
They go in there. They have a dump. Maybe sit on the side and then go out. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a cat room. If ever I've seen one, if I know cat rooms, and I think I do, that's a cat room.
Actually, Ben, we're wrong. It's a cat office.
It is. It's where the cats do their work.
Fair.
Their spreadsheets and emails.
Ben's now jealous because he doesn't have that for himself. Anyway, we should get on to what we're going to talk about this week. But I think first we should mention your streaming, Ben, shouldn't we?
Yeah, so this week we streamed Dead Space 2. But the key thing about this stream was that for the first time we were streaming on Twitch and YouTube.
Successfully.
Oh shit! What? Together? I didn't know this. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Oh, nice one.
Yeah, I did attempt it a few weeks ago, and it kind of collapsed on itself.
Yes, I remember seeing the messages. It was quite curious.
Yeah, it kind of collapsed on itself, and I was very disappointed. But I changed around some settings, and it worked for the whole stream. So, in theory, we are now streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you don't have Twitch, you can watch us on YouTube on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Ben, I don't want to rub in your failure, but I was up with my parents when you started that stream, and my dad, I think it's the first time, because I was like, oh, next time, because he was going, oh, I always miss Ben on his stream, and I go, well, set notifications, here's how you put them on. And this is the first time it came up, I went, oh, Ben's streaming, and he opened it up, and then you just closed the stream. So he was like, oh, excited. He was like, oh, it's not on.
That wasn't me though. Like it was just, it was a clusterfuck. Honestly, I was so disappointed. Because I'd researched it. I'd even done a test stream the previous day for 10 minutes, and like people had started watching and stuff. I had like a couple of views on it. I was like, no.
Yeah, don't view this.
Don't watch it. Don't look at me.
This is just a test. Don't look at me. And then 10 minutes into that stream, it just collapsed. But now I have a dynamic bit rate, and that seems to be working. Whatever that means, I have it.
Yes, indeed. So if they want to check you out on Thursday, they can do it on both platforms, which is...
They can do it on either. You have the choice is yours.
And are you continuing on Dead Space 2?
I am. It's fucking. I'll talk about it later on.
Everyone
what we've been playing.
Who isn't Kirk in the world will love it. Awesome.
Oh, it's wonderful. I had so much. The last stream was so much fun. I had so much fun. Yeah.
Fantastic. Is that because it's the first one I haven't joined to watch for like weeks?
Yeah,
let's not go.
So nice.
I did think you weren't around, but yeah.
That's a can of worms for me to open later. That's fine. Anyway, with that aside, we are of course going to be going through the news, which is looking pretty packed this week. The new releases, which is also hugely packed this week. What we've been playing, which is very trim this week. Very trim. But I've played a game, so...
Yeah, it's bad when Pete's the one that brings a game to the table.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Honestly, not me, but hey, I managed it. And
here he is.
Yeah, our feature this week is on cheating. Yeah. Cheating. I mean, obviously in video games, we're not talking about relationships here. But, cheating. That's what we're going to get to. So, before then, we should probably crack on with the news, and I'll let you start, Ben, with your huge list of quick news.
Yeah, there is a huge list of quick news, actually. Right, we'll start with... There was a big leak at Sony last week. Several PlayStation games were leaked, including Death Stranding 2. I say a big leak... This is what we're led to believe. There was a spreadsheet, etc. It was originally shared with Gamatsu, and not many outlets are actually reporting on it. So I looked... at IGN and all that kind of stuff, and it wasn't anywhere, but there are a million YouTube videos out there, so if you want to look into it, you can probably take it with a grain of salt and just see what happens. But supposedly Death Stranding 2 is out there.
It's definitely the not quite news, but it's very big not quite news, isn't it?
To be honest, like it really, the YouTube videos were plentiful. Like everyone was all about this, and there was there's a spreadsheet, little timeline, and so I was like, okay, well, seems legit. And people were, it was supposedly confirmed. Yeah, I love a spreadsheet. But it was confirmed by many sources as like being legit. So, but I suppose it's nothing crazy like, oh, Death Stranding 2. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. So anyway, the next one. Supposedly, again, not quite news. Supposedly, the Silent Hill movie director has confirmed a Silent Hill 2 remake is being made by Blooper Team. So if you'll cast your minds back, Blooper Team have been rumoured to be making a Silent Hill game for a while now. They were the makers of The Medium, which was a horror game, a decent horror game that released last year, originally on Xbox. I did, and part of it was because it was, I believe, the first Xbox Series enhanced new game. And I think it was only available on the Series consoles. Now it's obviously on PlayStation as well and stuff like that, but it had a pretty confusing finish to the story, if I remember rightly, but it didn't seem like a terrible game to me. So if you're interested in horror games and you haven't checked that one out, I probably still on Game Pass. May not be, so I don't know. Check it out. Next one. Splatoon 3's next Splatfest is on November the 11th, and it's going to be Pokemon themed. So Splatoon and Pokemon teaming up, and it's the age-old question, and I'm going to have to ask you guys, it's fire, water, or grass. You got to pick a team.
Water.
That's
Pete?
Well, I feel I'm betraying original red and blue Pokemon, but I'd probably be fire.
Yeah, I thought you'd go fire. I'm a water guy as well.
Is anyone grass? I've never met.
I was just about to say.
This is what I mean, the betrayal, because in original Pokemon, I went grass just to make the first two easier.
No, you
so
were
did
bloody
I was
fat
Bulbasaur
thing.
in the first one, when I was 10 years old or whatever we were, 11 years old. Yeah, I chose grass as my first. But now who chooses grass?
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. I literally did it because I didn't want any of them in my final team, so I just went for grass to make the first two bosses easier.
Oh, to be honest,
Squirtle was so cute.
In the last Pokemon game, the grass type starter turned into a massive gorilla, so it's definitely the. Oh, so I think it was called like Gorilla Boom or something.
Of course,
amazing.
Great,
amazing.
Rillaboom. So, I don't know. Rillaboom. I think it was Rillaboom.
I love that they just add a few vowels onto the end of the normal word.
What was fucking the snake? It was snake backwards, wasn't it? Ekans or something.
Yeah.
And what was
Arbok.
That's it. Fuck's sake.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful, though.
That said, Muck? That's my favourite one. Muck. It's literally just a pile of
Muck.
I mean, they have gone like in crazy. They've got like teacups. Like they've gone in crazy directs. Like it's just furniture now at times.
Beauty and the Beast is actually just a Pokemon story.
Yeah, it's just fucking furniture. The worlds are colliding there. So they're teaming up, and that will be just before the new Pokemon game comes out.
Okay.
Which is the open world one coming out in November. So obviously get a bit of advertising there. The next one, we heard about Stadia closing down last week. Elder Scrolls Online players that play on Stadia will be able to change their saves over to PC.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. However, the whole point of you using Stadia is that you probably don't have a PC.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, this is. While I do agree with you, Ben, it also just speaks to the failings of Stadia, that its main thing was the Venn diagram where you don't have any other option. You know what I mean? Like, it's who is outside having one of the consoles or a PC, but wants to play games. It's a pretty small market. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, maybe it'll push them to get a PC and it'll be good.
It is the issue of any game that needs to transfer their saves now. They're still going to have this issue for all of them, aren't they? That it just doesn't work. Because they just don't have these consoles. But at least they are moving towards it. I mean, I know there are other bigger companies, and I think Ubisoft and people like that have mentioned that they're going to do it. Like, people are trying to get people sorted out. So there we go. Next one, Dead Space, the remake, which is coming out in January, will be £70.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't like
it's £60 on PC, and it's £63 through EA Play. So I think if you buy an Xbox digitally, it'll be, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, then it'll be £63. So what are we thinking about that price? Eddie, probably
devastated.
Probably don't go to Eddie first.
I mean, I'm pretty pissed off as well.
You know what? I'm not pissed off because to me it doesn't exist now.
Yeah, fair.
Until I see that come down to 2030, that game doesn't exist. So
true.
I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point. I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, it's a remake, 70 quid. I think by what we're hearing, what they're putting into this game and actually ground up making it again, I think it needs to be £70. Like, in terms of the gaming landscape now and games that are coming out, if that is the price of a new game, I know prices of new games, £60, £50, £60 is like, it's the PlayStation price, it's just £70. But you can see it, can't you? Like, it's not something to get up in arms about, I don't think.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, haven't we? Like, if you actually think of it's a bit weird that our brains do go to £70 as extreme, because the amount of work, the amount of hours you put into a game, the amount of effort it takes for someone to make a game, 70 quid shouldn't be a oh my god comment. But yeah, I do. I'm the first man to go, holy fuck, I'm never buying that. So
I kind of agree with.
When I sort of see where you're going with that, film tickets, remember, are still like 10 to 20 quid, and they have bigger budgets than most games. Like,
yeah, but they'll sell more tickets, presumably. I don't know. Maybe they don't.
I don't know. I'm never sure. You'd think so, but then you look at you would think they definitely do, but I don't know. I guess because they haven't gone up in anywhere near the same sort of trajectory of price, I'm kind of like, yeah, fuck off.
I suppose you have to look at it like saying 70 is the maximum. What's their price that they know in their heads that they're going to come down to as their lowest selling point of like 40 quid? Okay, 40 quid is actually the point where it's like the average of those, or the weighted average of those, isn't it? Is the real price. So the real price might be like 50 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Potentially so. All it does mean, as much as Eddie said, until it comes down by 50% or more, I won't go near it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want it, you buy it.
Exactly. If you want it first day, you buy it 70 quid.
But it's annoying because we need Kirk to buy this to have his very professional opinion on Dead Space.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
and
might make it for
what do
half an hour.
you think to this point as well? You know, the Callisto Protocol is coming out in December,
Yeah.
so it's coming out before Dead Space. Do you think that's going to have a positive effect or a negative effect on Dead Space? Bearing in mind that the Callisto Protocol will be basically like a new age Dead Space. It's going to have all of the mechanical changes and like all the different cool weapons and everything that Dead Space 1 probably did in its basic form. Callisto Protocol is going to be like that on steroids, right? So what is? Do you think it's going to help it or hinder it?
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see. Because, yeah, obviously all the new improvements will be on show just before in Callisto. But one thing horror as a genre, or horror feels strong for Dead Space, but let's go with it. Horror as a genre has is actually simpler tends to be better. And then look at as well at things like Elden Ring, where do you not remember how many of the developers of other games came out and said, like, you guys just like crap UI? Do you remember all those comments? Like, developers of Horizon and others came out being like, oh yeah, so game is just like crap UI. There's that bit of like, well, maybe the advancements aren't needed. Maybe it's just how good the game is going to be the key bit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Let's see. It's a remake, not a remaster as well. So let's see what they do with it.
I think it can be really good news, because if it's shit, then people will go, oh, Dead Space was so much better than this, I'm going to get the remake. And even better, if it's really good, then they might go, oh, I love these type of games. Oh, what's coming out soon? Dead Space. Oh, fuck, yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, the only thing that I think in my mind might work against it is that it will be simpler in the fact that it's a remake of the first one. Yeah. But then again, if they get rid of, the mechanic where you click in the button, it kind of tells you the direction of your objective.
Along the floor,
if they get rid of that, and I actually like that part of it because it makes it like you don't have to really think, and it's just enjoying the whole process. But if they get rid of that or have it so that you can trigger on and off, then actually it could turn it into quite a horrifying game.
I honestly think that shouldn't be in it. Yeah.
I think it should be toggleable. I think you should be able to toggle it on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You toggle it on and off, in the menu.
As long as it drops the difficulty as you toggle it on as well.
No, it's got dynamic difficulty, Pete.
I know.
No, what an interesting fact of this game is that it has dynamic difficulty, supposedly, if I've got this right. And correct me if you know differently.
No,
but
I believe you're right on that.
If you're smashing the game, it makes it harder. And if you're not doing so well, it makes it easier.
Oh my god, I bet it is toggleable, and the moment you hit that, they're like, oh, we'll make it easier on him.
I think and that difficulty must be able to be switched from dynamic to different ones as well, because some people just want to be able to play it on ultra hard or whatever, won't they?
Exactly.
Fucking Total War. The amount of times I get, are you struggling? Do you want it to fucking lower level? I'm doing fine, mate. I'm fucking doing well. I've taken over 1/3 of the world.
Happen.
Yes.
I want this to happen. I want to
beat
be
punished.
It eventually.
I want to be told I'm shit.
Yeah, I don't want Dead Space to make it easier for me if
I like dying.
To imagine if you're one of those who wants to play on ultra hard all the time in Dead Space, and you get to the end and it's like it's dropped it too easy. That would be amusing. That would be a nice ego hit for those people.
Yes, exactly. They forgot to change it.
Yeah.
All right, next one. A March deadline has been set by the CMA for a Microsoft Activision ruling. And meanwhile, in Brazil, they approved the deal.
They did.
Oh, cool.
So Brazil are fine with it. So and the UK CMA.
I did love how much information we got from that Brazil side.
Oh, I know, because they have to display it all. Well done, Brazil.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Another Stadia story. You know that game Guilt, the exclusive, the only exclusive we could actually think of. There are like 5, but Guilt. It's going multi-platform. Multi-platform. It's going multi-platform.
Just in time to close down.
It's going multi-platform next year, so it's finding some new homes, which is actually probably great news for that game, because it is the only game a lot of us can remember as a Stadia exclusive. So it will be tried. If that finds its home on Game Pass, I think they could do very well. So, right. Next one. Oh, this is applicable to both of you guys. New RimWorld expansion, Biotech, has just been announced, and it's releasing this October. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, I added this in, Ben. I'm glad it didn't take you by surprise. Yeah, I actually messaged Eddie the same night I saw this as well. Yeah, I mean, classic Tynan to basically tease something, and then 2 hours later it's like, oh yeah, it's coming in 2 weeks. Right, okay, right, so this is finished. You've just not mentioned a bloody word. Nice.
What's that going to be, like 15 quid or something?
Probably 15 quid again, yeah.
Yeah, the last two were both 15, weren't they? So,
yeah, exactly. And they don't do anything, as we know with RimWorld, they don't bring the prices down for anything. So, it's 15 quid, most likely. This one is bringing in lots of like additions to the mechanoid side of the game and bringing children to the Rim for the first time. Outside mods, which have done it for years.
Okay. Okay, cool. You guys gonna get it or wait for a sale and check it out then or something?
The sale was 10%.
Yeah, the sale, Ben, is nothing on RimWorld. So they have a rule.
So you either just dip in or not.
Yeah, and that's what's really upsetting me because I bought the last two out of respect for the developers, but I didn't. Well, it's not fair that I said I didn't enjoy them. I just enjoyed the base game more when it's more simplistic.
You said to me that you bought it to support them, but they're not as good as the mods.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But the annoying thing is, I'm gonna. There's surely I can't keep on just buying everyone. Imagine if they released like 100. I can't keep on chucking 15
Well, just
quid.
because, but Eddie, just because you buy this one doesn't mean you're committed to the rest of them.
It's also that's like 15 quid a year, Eddie. That's not that.
But you're not signing a contract.
Yeah,
but I've got
it's like Eddie's just gone. If I buy another one, they might think this is good and we'll release another one.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't want them to release another one because then I'll spend another 15 quid.
2,100 hours.
What world is this where we have a favourite game, they release some DLC, and you're like, I don't want to buy it because then they'll release more of it, and I don't want more of it because then I have to spend money on it.
It's annoying as well because I downloaded one of the mods that gave children, and I really didn't like it.
Yeah, that's what's putting me off as well. I don't want children on the Rim.
No.
They're very inefficient drug farmers.
Well, yeah, but surely nobody suspects the child.
Nice.
I mean, it doesn't matter who's suspecting it. You're either getting armed raids or you're shipping things off successfully. So, there's not a police system on the Rim, Ben.
No, but if they're getting mugged or something, then surely nobody kills the child, right?
Yes, it's RimWorld. You first go for the children.
Everyone kills the child.
Always go for the child.
Everyone eats children, sells off their organs, and all that kind of stuff.
I think, Ben, we can sum this up by saying the best picture I've ever sent Eddie from the RimWorld community Reddit was one where someone was asking the question, is it not possible to tase babies in this RimWorld mod? Or is it just that my guy keeps missing because he doesn't have eyes? That was the question. That sums up what RimWorld is.
RimWorld is a dark place, and I imagine that people with this mod will be able to set up farms of children which they just harvest for organs.
There'll be sweatshops, I'd imagine.
Or maybe prisoner. Yeah, okay, I was just about to say something. Let's move on.
Right, let's move on. Right, Valve did an advert for their Steam Deck this week, and when they did that, they accidentally showed on the home screen a load of icons for different games, and one of those icons was for Yuzo, which is a Nintendo Switch emulator. Now, obviously, they probably just recorded an employee or one of the devs' like Steam Decks, just like they needed some footage, so they just put it up there, and they probably just didn't know what the logo was on the right-hand side. So then they noticed, they took down the video, and then that icon magically changed when they uploaded it again to Dead Cells. The emulator isn't technically illegal. Emulators aren't illegal, and if you own a game, I think you're allowed to emulate it. I think that's the official rule.
Yeah, I think so.
But obviously not everyone would do that. And the Steam Deck will run some games better than the Switch, some games worse than the Switch. So anyway, it was just a weird old advert. And given that Valve do have a relationship with Nintendo, like Portal and stuff like that. It's all on the Switch. It's Nintendo who probably called them up and said, "Hey guys."
You say that it's the ninjas, surely. It's the ninjas.
Yeah, the ninjas would have been out them immediately.
Yeah, already
Smashed
inside
by
the
the
building. It's like, okay, we'll just change it. We'll change it. Like
Exactly. Right. That is the quick news. That is the not so quick news.
Not quick at all.
No.
Quick. That was almost half
It's getting
an hour.
slower each week. Actually, it's getting slower each and every week.
It is. It's almost like we choose less and less ones to publicise as main.
No, I tell you what it is. I tell you what it is. We only have a couple of big stories. We take one each. Maybe you've taken two. Whatever you might. But then there's just so much other stuff that happens. And originally when I did the quick news, it was like, oh, right, there's just this other thing we should mention. Mm-hmm. And now, because I've just got free reign to do whatever the fuck I want, I'll put 10 things in there.
I know, I don't like it, and I was wanting to have a crackdown on it. But yeah, we'll discuss that offline.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get on to the actual main news at this point. And I believe we should start that with a bit on Overwatch 2, don't you? Yeah, I mean, the launch has gone absolutely flawless. No. The launch has been awful. And it must be said it's hilarious because obviously when I log into, battle.net, it pops up saying, do you want to play it? And it's like, even before I didn't, but after the news, definitely not. But their servers started out by suffering a mass DDoS attack. Players have reported unexpected server errors, difficulties joining the games throughout their evenings following free-to-play launch, and some claim to be experiencing queues of as many as 40,000 players. Yeah, that was not a great start for them. It didn't get much better for a few days, because obviously this started last week. And eventually on October the 6th, we got a statement saying, we want to apologise to our players. We expected the launch to go smoothly. We hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we are working hard to resolve the issues you're experiencing. They launched the server patch to improve stability, though noted that the player database is overloaded, so that suggests it's possibly quite popular as well as having a DDoS attack, and added a bunch of other information about cascades and backups in the login system. So, really wasn't going well, but we should add there were some other issues as well in this, by the way, which was incorrectly locked heroes and items, missing items, and at one point an auto-purchase bug, which was basically making people using the chat function just straight buy items with in-game currency.
Classic auto-purchase, that.
I know.
Classic.
And they aren't refunding the in-game currency, by the way. They're just not. That's a no.
I'm sure they're... Yeah, it's probably low down on the priority, but I'm sure they'll fix it. They're Blizzard. Sure, they'll fix it.
Nah, not with in-game currency. These things are meant to be exclusive unlocks. So once you've got it,
right? This is a fucking Blizzard. This is a Blizzard game. Like,
I know.
Who expects it to go well on launch?
Well, we say this, but who expects most games to be good on launch day? Not
anymore. Yeah.
Let's just think of like when Diablo 4 comes out. There's no way I'm playing that online.
Yeah.
Just sit yourself back down. Get yourself huddled up in a single player game. Something like Overwatch 2. Like, what's really bad about it is that they turned off Overwatch 1.
Yes.
Like that game is now completely done. So they went, right, that is no longer possible. You have to now play Overwatch 2.
And it's a mess.
Oh wait, you can't play.
Yeah. It's really not gone well. Obviously there's been an actual attack on them at the same time, which is not great. But I mean, what was it? People were talking about the fact that like they were either being dropped back into the queues, like thousands of places further down.
Guys, I watched a fantastic review of Overwatch 2.
Oh, really?
And it said, Overwatch 2 has changed from a 6-on-6 shooter to a battle royale, where you are fighting to be last in the queue.
Nice.
With 40,000 people, and it said, "Wow, Fortnite has only got like 110 players or something. This has 40,000 players,
and everyone loses."
I think it was Donkey's review. Yeah, check it out. It's funny.
Yeah, it's really not good. And the worst bit is you're literally unable to log in at all at some points. And if you get booted back out, you can go back in the queue. That's It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. Even on Xbox or whatever at the moment, I think if you earn an achievement, it'll kick you out.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, when this is all fixed, have either of you got any inclination to play it? No. It's free to play.
No.
It's free to play.
Not even vaguely.
Is Overwatch 1, Pete, the one you made me download and play?
No.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because I've never played it.
Right.
I have no interest in it. Yeah, sadly.
No.
Okay, well, that stopped that. That was a conversation stumper, wasn't it? So
it was, so we should probably move on.
All right, I'll go next. PlayStation. Oh my god, I've fucking copy and pasted 6 paragraphs.
This is the start.
6 paragraphs I've copied and pasted. And
you're not going to read all them, are you?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
No.
Yeah.
That's not how we do it anymore.
All right, fine. I'll read 1 paragraph. How about that?
Go on then.
PlayStation Hermen Hulst interview. In a video interview with Julian Cheese. Do you want to correct me on that one?
Sorry?
Hulst explained.
He jumped to the last paragraph.
Hulst explained to the last paragraph. Why have you gone there? Why don't you start?
It's been really great for the teams to see their wonderful creations also being released on PC. There are more players, and that's really helpful. I think going forward, we'll see at least a year between releases on PlayStation and on the PC platform, possibly with the exception of live service games.
So that's what you're going to say on the matter, is that it?
Any
so
comments?
Not mentioning the actual interview whatsoever. One, Cheese is the best way to pronounce that surname I've ever seen. And I'm not changing that because who knows? There's accents, there's a Z involved. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot
Cheese.
to process.
His name's Cheese.
It's Cheese.
Okay.
But I feel you probably should
do we need to fill in the blank?
More detail on the actual interview.
Go for it.
Let's coax him, Ben. Let's coax him. We're not doing it for him. Come on, Eddie.
Okay.
I'll start from the beginning, shall I?
Yes, please.
PlayStation Studios head Hermen Hulst. Fuck, that was a lot. Has revealed Sony's first-party PlayStation releases will likely take at least a year to launch on PC, although live service games might come sooner. Sony initially confirmed it was exploring bringing its first-party PlayStation exclusives to PC in March 2020, announcing that Horizon Zero Dawn would lead the charge, although it said releasing one first-party AAA title to PC doesn't necessarily mean that everybody now will come to PC, and that it didn't have plans to follow Xbox's lead with day and date PC releases. Since then, following the successful launch of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, the number of titles joining the platform has continued to grow. Days Gone, God of War, and Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered have already made the jump, with Spider-Man's Miles Morales, Uncharted, the Legacy Collection, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure confirmed to be on the way. Despite that steady increase of releases, there's been no indication that Sony intends to change its initial stance on day and date PC launches for its first-party PlayStation titles, and Hulst now has shared a little more information on companies' thinking in this regard.
Right. You know these. So thank you, Eurogamer. Thank you very much for that. You know what you can do, and this is just a suggestion. You can read what they've written, and just write brief summary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe even find another couple of sources and plug in little bits from those as well.
You could do. Yeah, that would make it free TV.
That I had 10 minutes. 10 minutes to plan for this.
I'm on your side as well, Eddie, because I also think that Ben massively threw you off, so you rushed the first half of that, which was why the alliteration in the first sentence of head Hermen Hulst has.
Oh yeah, that was glorious.
That was
right,
amazing.
So on this story then, so this kind of implies that live service games, and Sony's releasing several of them coming up, including The Last of Us Factions, may come to PC day and date with the PlayStation. Now, something like Last of Us, I can imagine there being a delay on that one because none of the other Last of Us have come to PC, etc. But you can understand with things like live service, it does open up the market because live service usually means microtransactions, and it usually means potentially free to play.
Yes.
But these first person single player. That's the one. Single player games. That was a hardship. These single player games that they love to release, they're saying that could take at least a year before coming to PC. But I reckon we're going to see that. And especially if PlayStation releases their own launcher on PC, so they don't have to pay Steam or Epic or anybody else for the privilege.
Yeah.
And it opens up the audience. I know they don't want to do it because they are very much focused on hardware as opposed to the software side like Microsoft. But the more Microsoft, let's just say next year, Microsoft just start pinging out these fucking day and date Game Pass releases. You would think Sony will have to also be putting things on a service or on PC or something.
Sadly so, yeah.
You'd think so. And some of these games after a year or so just gives them a new lease of life because people aren't buying it then and they can release it full price.
This was what you made me think of immediately, Ben, with mentioned Last of Us, was just they're going to release the original, then the sequel, and then the remake later just because they can. And that's just really annoying.
This is the question when people say about this new Horizon remake. Now, the more I've been thinking about this, the more I think it's just going to be like a £10 patch, and it's not going to be a complete new game. But let's just say it is a complete new game. That is going to be fucking weird when they release that on PC, because people playing on PC now will be like, "I'm sorry, I've got a PC that can already make Horizon Zero Dawn look stunning." And you want me to buy a... Okay, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. But I look forward to seeing them try, though. They will.
Yeah. But this is good. I think there was uproar by some PlayStation fans because PlayStation people, some of them love their exclusives being solely on PlayStation, but I think this is the way of the world, and I think this is good, and I think it gets things like in handheld on Steam Decks and stuff like that. Like you can buy loads of these PlayStation 4 games that were released on Steam Deck, and that's fucking class.
I really don't get the people who really like having exclusives. Like, it's not really exclusive because anyone can buy a PlayStation.
No, but what I do like about exclusives are that it's made by the first-party studio, and the first-party studio in Sony's case, just like the quality and the money, the budget that is put into those is insane. And things like Starfield, well, there's 500 developers working on that game.
Yeah.
If it wasn't first party, like without Microsoft there, would Bethesda have 500 people working on that? It's that's why exclusives I think are cool. Not because they're exclusive to console, I don't give a fuck about that, but it's just they're generally better quality, I would say.
I suppose.
Possibly.
Let's see how
possibly. Yeah, let's see how Starfield goes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go next. Right, there was a Mario movie trailer this week. The long anticipated Mario movie trailer. I thought it was excellent. Really, really good. So Nintendo actually held a full direct for this. They branded it as a Nintendo Direct. Yeah. The trailer was about 2 minutes 30 long. Animation looks crisp. Jack Black as Bowser seems fantastic. Like, they've even got his facial animations. I suppose when you try and make the cartoon character, look like the actor, it makes it easier for you to believe the acting.
Yeah.
But he really seems to be putting his all into it. Chris Pratt as Mario, he said about 5 words, so everyone complaining about his Mario voice, chill out. He said 5 words, don't worry about it. And also, Mario sounds like fucking garbage in the games, so any improvement on that is just a normal voice. Like, Jesus. But yeah, he was getting...
Yeah.
Well, no, he was getting insane hate, or people just going, "Go on, who cares?" Like, just...
It was like 10 seconds.
And it's a fucking character in a movie for children.
I said this ages ago. This is gonna for children. That's harsh. People are gonna be, because Mario's so big to so many people, they're going to be hateful.
But you can't please it. Like, he was always gonna get hate, especially when they built it up. Like, he's saying like, "Oh, it's like nothing you've ever heard," and people were saying about his voice, like, and then people were just saying, "Oh, he hasn't acted. It's just his voice." It's like, all right, leave the kid alone. Like,
leave Britney alone.
Well, no, what I don't like is like everybody thinks they know him. They have a go at him for his beliefs and religious beliefs. I don't know anything about that, but whatever you hear in the news probably isn't true. So just like don't worry about it. But the film, the animation looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going back to the roots of the Mario and Luigi kind of origin story, where they drop down a pipe and end up in this fucking animation world and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, but I think, give Chris Pratt a chance, and the film's looking excellent, and I reckon it's going to be a great watch.
Isn't it weird that people's default, when it's a game that they love and they see it in like movie adaptations, isn't it weird that everyone's default was always no, hatred. Wrong, yeah. Hey,
I think
you're shit,
I do think
I
with
yeah.
I think with the Chris Pratt thing, again, saying I don't know much about it, but I think he gets quite a lot of criticism for things that he has either said or views that have been attributed to him or something like that. People actively say that, and
it's because he's Christian, Ben. Like, he gets a lot of hatred for that.
But I think it's a particular kind of like subsect or something like that. And I just, but I think like, you know, people don't know him as a person, so you don't know what he. It's really difficult. I don't know yes or no, but you know, it's also, he's in this film, and that's
he's an actor. Like in this case, just a voice actor.
Yeah,
like his role is not as big as you're giving it. There's a lot dependent on the script, the story. Like there's a lot more to it than just his voice. You know?
And they didn't want to give much away about Mario in this trailer. Like, Bowser had some great speaking parts in the trailer and all this kind of stuff. So did Toad. Like, they actively didn't have much of Mario in it. And in the Mario games, like, he doesn't say much either. It's like, let's just see how it pans out. I think, but it was so much better than I ever imagined it would be. It genuinely fit in with like the more recent films that you'd see, like the Pixar films or the Minions and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, this fits in actually. I didn't imagine it being like this. That's great.
I think Jack Black's going to steal the show.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're aiming for as well. Don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. But somebody like him, charismatic and like just that voice and his acting ability, the fact that he gives it, but the fact that the character, like the facial animations of Bowser, they even make it look a bit like him. Yeah. That just makes it so believable. Like that's fantastic. Well done. So,
I imagine you're going to watch this, aren't you, Ben?
I think I will. I think I'll probably go to the cinema.
Oh, you're not going to. Oh, God.
I'm not even wearing a Mario hat.
Oh, Ben. If I go to the cinema with my missus and I see you in the back of the Mario hat on.
Just a Mario hat. Yeah. I'll bring a Luigi hat just for you.
Leave Chris Pratt alone.
Leave Chris Pratt alone. What has he done to you?
Fucking hell.
He's just a man.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, Christ. Right, yeah. Anyway, looks really good. I think there's a lot of love for just how it looks in general. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And I suppose we should probably end here with the biggest news of the week, at least for me.
The biggest news?
Yeah.
Yep.
At least for me. Which was CD Projekt Red announcing a raft of games, basically. And this was part of a wider update, but the first thing I took from this is there's a full sequel to Cyberpunk on the way.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I know, Pete, you've been banging this drum.
Yeah.
And you've been saying it, and you even said it last week. When was it last week you talked Cyberpunk, or was it the week before, whatever? You mentioned it then, and in my head I'm thinking, I don't think they're backing this at all. And I know you've said that it's that and The Witcher, it's two main franchises going forwards, and I just thought, no, I don't believe it. But by Jove, the kid was right.
Yeah,
he was fucking right.
And I tell you what, Ben, you should have guessed because they bought the rights to it from someone else, so they weren't going to give it up on one game.
and I, you know, Eddie, I know what you say about him, but he's not a cunt, Pete. He knows what he's talking about. He knows about computer games. Well, I don't know. So yeah,
I haven't been in the country for 2 weeks.
I mean, to be fair, it's both immensely believable, not entirely wrong, and also very much more something Ben would say.
Yeah, Eddie, I don't give a shit what you say about Pete. He's all right.
I mean, I do think he's a cunt, but I don't think I've ever told you that. That's the problem. How have
No,
you got
no,
that in my brain?
I think you've openly said that to me on numerous occasions. It's fine.
On numerous occasions.
Not just
But yeah,
on this podcast.
Cyberpunk is getting a new game, and they're going to take it into darker places and shit, aren't they?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so they're continuing the Cyberpunk franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. Which, yeah, I mean, I think it was one of the previous weeks, Ben, where I was like, they can just jump a few years in the future and it's brand new again, like Cyberpunk
Sorry, did
2018.
you have a leak or something? Did you know what was going on, or?
No, I just remember previous updates where they talked about it as being two pillars of their company.
Kid reads between the lines, doesn't he, Eddie?
That literally, there wasn't
Between
even
the
anything
two
between
pillars.
the lines.
Yeah.
Between the fucking pillars.
Between the pillars.
Looks
Betwixt.
Betwixt the pillars.
the
Betwixt them.
Oh, dear God. Yes, yes. Thank you for making this much less entertaining talking about it.
No, I don't give a fuck
Don't
what
give
you
a
say.
fuck.
He's not a cunt, and he seems betwixt the pillars.
Say he's a cunt because he's
Don't we
betwixt
publish
them.
this in the US? That's like their least favourite swear word.
Yes, I know. I think they
50
really
times.
don't like that. Yeah, I apologise to our
Why
listeners.
not?
It's like,
No,
I mean,
it's like a
in
major
Australia,
one, yeah.
it is. In Australia, I mean,
every other
they
word.
really love this guy because you don't call anyone a cunt unless you absolutely love him over there.
Pete,
But
stop using
It's
the
one of
word.
my favourites. Stop saying cunt.
Ben, can you can you edit this and just bleep out all the C words, please?
Might have to, because
Please
if
do,
anybody's
yes.
playing this out loud,
Oh yeah, in an office.
yes, yes, like the radio for them. Yeah.
imagine the Endling devs playing this in their office now.
No, don't.
Oh, that wouldn't go down
Wow.
well.
Imagine Chris Pratt hearing this; he'd be so upset as well.
No, he'd be happy.
Why? We've defended him.
We defended him. We love you, Chris.
For all the
Pratt.
swearing, guys. For all the swearing.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
He'll
Anyway.
forgive that. He'll forgive that.
Anyway,
He'll look betwixt the pillars.
He will. Betwixt
fantastic, yes.
said pillars.
yes. Right. So this was amongst a lot of other stuff, by the way. But I should point out there's still no mention of the Cyberpunk multiplayer project.
They've said multiplayer is coming to the next game.
Yeah, I know, but they said that
Future
about
games.
Cyberpunk as well.
So they said it's not coming to this one, and all of their future games are getting multiplayer.
yes, but
What do you want them to play? What more do you want them to say?
fine, Ben. Never mind. Whatever. Oh my god.
He's such a cunt, that Pete.
Anyway, yes, obviously that is true. Moving on from that, we also saw quite a bit of more stuff coming to the Witcher series. So we had Canis Majoris, which is being developed by a third-party studio and is currently on the go. This is a full-fledged Witcher game, but separate from the aforementioned trilogy. That trilogy, of course, being started by Polaris, which is the first of them. And they're going to be released over 6 years, was what we were told. So we're getting Witcher 4, 5, and 6, and 4.5 or whatever Canis Majoris is.
That is crazy.
I know.
That is crazy over that time period, isn't it? That's mental.
Yep. And thirdly, by the way, for the Witcher franchise, they revealed Sirius, which is being helmed by Molasses Flood. So this includes a multiplayer element on top of the single-player experience and will include a campaign with quests and a story. So there's a lot of Witcher content there.
Yeah, amazing.
Just a huge amount of Witcher content. And there's also the long-awaited current-gen console update for Witcher 3, but no new detail on when that will actually arrive. I think that's actually still set for 2022, though, isn't it? Which they're cutting it pretty
I think
fine.
it is, but I just can't. I can't see it. It's like they're just forgetting about it existing.
Yeah, at least for now. And then lastly, they mentioned a brand new IP called Hadar, or that's the code name for it, is Hadar, which is also in the pipeline, but for now, all the details are completely under wraps. CG Projekt Red stated that this game is still in the earliest stages of the creative process. So, yeah, it looks like there's soon going to be 3 pillars, but we don't know much about the third one.
I love that you've got a video game company out there who've just actively said, I know they've said it kind of before, but they've gone, we have 3 franchises.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're going to make games for them.
Yeah.
It's so obvious, but you don't see Ubisoft coming out saying, right, these 3 or 4 franchises are the ones that we're going to make games for over the next 6 years. Well, CD Projekt Red just have outlined it and just said, there we go. I know they have to be transparent for their, get some of that share price back and all that kind of stuff. But, but yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm still a huge CD Projekt Red fan.
Yes. Yeah. Me as well. And I mean, this whole presentation, by the way, was started off with the fact that Cyberpunk's passed 20 million copies sold.
Amazing.
So, yeah, or more good news. So I guess they're feeling pretty buoyant, I suppose, is where we should be.
Oh, the love that Cyberpunk is still getting weeks after we talked about it, Pete.
Yeah,
it's just,
from Edgerunners.
it's crazy. Like, so many people are playing Cyberpunk. It's mental.
Yeah, and it was interesting that they didn't, by the way, in this, they celebrated Edgerunners as well, but the phrasing on it was the first of our anime, or like cartoon projects.
Yes,
and you're
because
you didn't,
yeah,
you aren't mentioning any more about the other ones, but...
Well, they did a graph thing, didn't they? Where they said, like, part of it's games, and then they said, we're going to be made up of anime. Like, they're moving this whole different... these whole different mediums that they're going into for storytelling. It's fantastic.
Yes, and it does seem to be based around these pillars that I'm betwixt.
Very
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
That said, can I also add that as much as most of this made me happy, the bit in the middle where they talked about hiring talent, just fuck off. Just fuck off so much. Love the fact that they're looking for the best talent, but the moment they start referring to managers as leaders, it just annoys me. There is no relation between any form of actual leadership and corporate management. Move on. Like,
they could hire me as a leader if they wanted.
No, and they could hire you as a director or manager, not a leader.
Is there a
Anyway.
difference?
Sure, they could hire me as whatever they want to call me, is what I'm saying.
Right, fair enough. Sparkles. You can have sparkles.
I'll be there. I'll be their finance director if they want me to. Give me the call, CD Projekt. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
Okay.
Do we feel like Ben's in need of drumming up new business? Is that what we're leading with this?
You need some help, buddy.
I would drop every. No, I shouldn't say I drop every client. It's not a
You definitely should not say that.
I definitely should not say that for them.
Ooh, well,
Take it back. Edit.
no, that's a fine moment to end our news on, Ben. And with that, we really should move to the new releases. Because that's a long news segment, guys. Look,
Yeah, that went on
a lot
for a
of news.
while. Didn't
Good
it?
news, though. Good news, guys. Good news.
lots of good news, many insults. Yep, good stuff all round.
I
So
can't remember any insults. It was just pointing out a few facts. Right.
that was also involved, yes.
You're a cunt.
So on the new releases, we're going to take a different tack this week because Eddie's had basically no prep time. So you're going to get Eddie reading the titles and the blurb, and then you're going to get my opinion.
Nice.
Let's see
All
how
right.
that goes. Kick us off, Ed.
Yeah, I know why you're doing this, because you want me to mess up or maybe do a stupid fucking accent, but
Yes,
don't-
Because he's a cunt.
both preferably.
I don't think there's one that I can do an accent on. Sorry, guys.
Just
Yeah.
go with,
Yeah, but
go
you'll
with
put
your
more
heart.
passion in than Pete would.
Yeah, I
That's what we
know.
you do.
Yeah, if I'm in the puzzle adventure game, I'm Pete. I'm a cunt.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm betwixt the pillars. Yeah. Right. First one: Lego Brick Tales. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, October 12. In this puzzle adventure. Oh, it just says in this puzzle adventure. That's off-putting, right? Shouldn't it be in this
Yes.
puzzle adventure game?
No, it just says that.
No, it's fine.
fuck's sake.
That's fine.
In this puzzle adventure, use an intuitive brick-by-brick building mechanic to solve puzzles and bring your creations to life. Experience a charming story as you explore beautiful Lego dioramas and help the people inhabiting them. Yeah, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, this actually looks like a genuine Lego game, and by that I mean you're building dioramas to solve puzzles, like when you were a kid and played Lego. I mean, I don't really remember them doing too many of these before now. Like,
No, I
Style
don't. I don't know of it either.
Yeah, they
But
just sort
but
of,
you're exactly right.
yeah, it looks
that's-
exactly like
yeah.
that. Anyone who likes Lego or liked Lego would probably find something in the game.
Yeah, if you like building Legos, this looks great.
I want to go one step further because have you? This is quite tragic, and I know my dad listens to this podcast, so apologies, Dad. But I went into the Lego store to get Dad a big Lego like Star Wars or something that he likes to build. You know, 'cause, you know. That's
Yeah.
weird.
I like that. Nintendo do loads of cool
Oh,
shit.
good. So I thought I was going to get ripped for that. But fuck me, are they expensive? Have you seen the
Oh man,
price of Lego?
they're like 80 quid or something, right?
Oh
They're like,
my god,
fuck,
yeah. Like anything.
It's mental.
I remember looking around going like, what is there anything under 40 quid? And I found like a cat where you could put like a fucking tail on.
Eddie,
But
wait till you see the price of like Warhammer these days.
don't.
Don't even look. Don't
Don't.
even look.
Yeah, but that's
All
what's
of these
great.
things.
We've got Warhammer Total War, and now we got a game like this to save
Yes.
us money.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're right. Buying Legos is meant that you could get like the NES and TV that you could build or whatever, but it's like £100 or whatever. It's mental.
Yeah.
Like, come off it.
So all the Star Wars stuff was extortionate, absolutely extortionate. But not on this game.
Exactly.
But your extortion is like over a tenner.
Yeah,
so.
It was crazy.
Brutal extortion. Yes.
Huge monies. All right, let's move on to something else that will save you some money. PC Building Simulator 2. Ben, calm yourself, because I know how excited you got for number 1. This is coming out on PC on October 12th. Grow your empire as you learn to repair, build, and customize PCs at the next level. Experience deeper simulation, an upgraded career mode, and powerful new customization features. Use realistic parts from 40 plus hardware brands to bring your ultimate PC to life.
Fantastic delivery, as ever.
You thought that internet cut, didn't you?
I mean, I just wondered if you were going to overplay your hand and then feel awkward about it and just mumble the end, to be fair. But it's, I mean, this once again makes me sad that this is actually a thing.
Shut up.
I knew you
maybe I'm a bit of a cunt, but this isn't even a fucking game.
Graphically it looks nice, and two, it's like a business manager like game. It's a business management sim.
Yeah.
Like
that's what makes me sad, Ben. But
yes, like that type of stuff, and it actually looks great. It's got real branded stuff. Like, if you have any kind of interest in PC building or something like that, like, you'd love it. Like, it's going to be obviously a simple version of everything, but it's just some people's passion is that.
I've got to admit, like, if you can, God knows what episode it is, but when we saw PC Simulator, I remember being like, this is quite interesting because I would like to know, like, what bits fit what, and it would be quite
absolutely.
But this actually kind of makes the upgraded career mode, like,
looks detailed, doesn't it? It actually looks detailed.
It gives me another reason to play it, if you know what I mean.
See, this, by the way, is the only reason I put down, I'd say, is it possibly is a good way to teach you how to build a PC. Like, that I can see
reason
value
you put down.
Yeah, I can't see any other reason to pick this
that's
up.
the only way Pete sees value in it.
Damn right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's the only value it has, Ben. It's not just what I see. It's objectively the only value it has.
You've used my own word against me.
You're damn fucking right.
Can't fight that.
All right, let's move on to Time Melters, coming out on PC October 12th. Strategy, witches, and time travel. Featuring both a single player and a co-op campaign, and designed by a small indie team of 3 people, Time Melters is a strategy adventure featuring put strategy adventure game, fine. Featuring a unique game mechanic which allows the players to go back in time and fight alongside themselves.
Yeah.
Pete, don't talk too much shit, because I love games where it's only designed by like a few people.
No, I'm actually quite interested in this one.
Nice, thank you.
For one thing, I think, just take a look at it. It's incredible that 3 people made this game.
I know, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. I think it looks really good. It's got a kind of Tim Burton-y thing going on with the character models. I think that works pretty well with witches. And I do think the time travel gimmick, Ben, to reclaim that word from last week when we said that was purely negative, I don't think it is.
Why gimmick? Mechanic, yeah. Mechanic.
But it's a specific
oh, God, that
different.
was
I know.
That was a baddie.
Trying to get in there too quick. I'm so disappointed in myself. That's one of those things.
I'm disappointed in you.
I didn't even have to say it. It was the fact that I started saying it and then had to be so disgusted I actually said the full word.
Shit.
Yeah. But no, it is a gimmick.
I'm embarrassed.
It is a gimmick.
I'm embarrassed.
And it is
He's
what looks like a really interesting.
I respect that.
I'm finishing the sentence, you fucking gypsy.
I think this game looks awesome.
Yeah, right.
I think the only thing that is just on PC only, which makes me think that you presumably have to use a mouse, keyboard, or mouse with it. Like, it looks like it could be a controller game, but I don't know whether you're like, when you're moving, it just seems to have so many different elements to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like the tactical movement of the characters to the battle strategy, then the actual battles plays like any kind of adventure. when you're actually controlling people on the map, it looks like pretty standard. But then the old the time travel element to go back, like I think something about this just looked amazing. Then you say 3 people put it together. I thought, wow, this could really actually be something.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I'm really interested. I do like the idea of fighting alongside yourself. I'm also really curious as to whether you could hinder your past self. Like, that would be quite fun. I'd like to find that out. Or if a future self could hinder you, that would be good.
I'm going to go back and fuck up that guy.
Exactly. I don't like past me. I'm going to deal with that.
You hate everyone so much that you even hate yourself.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
It's more, could I increase my own challenge in a game by actively acting against myself?
Fucking hell. That's dark.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to The Darkest Tales, coming out on PC, Xbox, and Switch, October 13th. Oh, is that a Friday? That could be quite cool if that's a Friday. Somebody look that up.
It probably isn't. Oh, no.
Oh, so close.
Damn it.
When a nightmare creeps into reality, the only ones can help are those who magically... You can tell us scrolling down there, can't you? The only ones that can help are those whose magical powers we've believed in since childhood. A brave teddy bear heeds to the far side? Yeah.
Sorry?
Heads.
Yeah, sorry.
Heeds.
Yeah, I know, because... Yeah, whatever. A brave teddy bear heeds to the far side of Happily Ever After to rescue his owner, Alicia. Pete?
I really still want to know the because on Heeds. Because, because, and then just stopped.
Yeah. I don't really have
You
anything.
looked at that word and went...
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it was because it was a new line on the dock, so...
No, don't go any further. Just say I don't know why.
Heeds
No,
to
I enjoy the
far
because.
side.
That's great. Yeah. Yes, so this
There
has
is a
got sort
sentence
of...
there.
Ori in the Wood. Okay. You say what you will, Eddie. It's got kind of Ori vibes going on, this game, at least in look. It does look pretty good. I'll add that as well, I think, for the type. But I can't get over, one, the blurb, and nor the comparisons with Ted, the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I think it looks like a really solid platformer from what I've seen.
Definitely.
I think on Switch, this game, Darkest Tales, could go really well.
Yeah.
I think it depending on price, but I think it actually looks like a decent knock.
Definitely. I just really wish the bear was swearing a lot as well. That would be amazing.
Nice.
But
I do like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, cool. Next one, The Eternal Cylinder. Coming out on PlayStation X. Is that just PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X?
And S. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. October 13th. There you go. Control a herd of charming creatures called Trebum, I'm going to call them that, and explore an unforgettable alien world filled with exotic life forms and surreal environments. Discover dozens of mutations to overcome puzzles, explore new biomes, and survive on a dangerous planet.
Yes, indeed. Now, I will say, I don't know why it only says PlayStation and Xbox. That's from the source when it is also coming out on Steam the same day. So right. I'm a little bit confused, but I'm pretty sure of the consoles, it's only the most current ones, is the point. So this is a surreal sci-fi adventure. I'm going to leave the word game out just to annoy Eddie. Again, it's a bit Tim Burton in look. Not just in the character models, more in everything about it.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, if you mixed up Tim Burton with a bit of Rick and Morty's intro sequence, you kind of get a sense of how it looks.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. This feels like it could be a bit of a sleeper hit for me. You know what I mean? Like, what was that game last year? Psychonauts. It's got that kind of feel for me. I know it doesn't have the history of Psychonauts, but it feels like it'll appeal to the same sort of people. I myself will follow review scores on this and sale prices, obviously.
It's interesting that you said sleeper hit. I would have never thought that.
It's not one I'm particularly keen on. I will follow it, but I do feel this could do quite well.
Too weird for me.
Okay.
PC Invasion gave it 9.5, by the way. Immediately, like off the bat. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Could be good. Could be a sleeper hit.
Indeed.
Are you two okay? Moving on. Goal! The Club Manager. Coming out on PC October 13th. You are more than a coach. You are the undisputed club boss. Are you ready to dominate the league with your team in this reimagining of the classic sports management franchise? Oh, that's bad. That just reads badly. Could you be the next manager sensation? Prove it.
It's Tesco Value Football Manager.
I love this blurb. You are more than the coach. Okay, you're the manager then. You are the undisputed club boss. So are you the manager? Yeah, you're the manager.
You're actually the owner.
It's like, yeah, that's what it implies. Like, oh, so you own the club? Yeah. I looked at this and I just thought, why does it exist? There's quite a few football management sims out there. I assume this is a franchise which is older, and it says reimagining of the classic sports management franchise. I assume there's some kind of cult fan base to this or something.
See, I didn't get that thought, Ben. I thought it was them going like, we're redoing Football Manager.
Oh, I assumed this was an old franchise. Oh, yeah, maybe they... It depends what they're calling management franchise. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think we should spend any more time on it.
Thank you. Good.
Oh, it's a bit harsh. I thought it just looks very different. All right, fine. Lost Eidolons?
Close enough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is it.
Lost Eidolons, coming out on PC, October 13th. Lost Eidolons is a turn-based tactical RPG with a gripping cinematic narrative set in a waning empire. I was going to say wanning. That would have been bad. Empire riven by civil war. Take on the role of a charming mercenary captain, Eden, and lead his band of allies through epic encounters on a classic turn-based battlefield. Excited to hear your thoughts on this one, Pete.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it after a long discussion with Ben just before the show. So this gives strong Divinity or King Arthur feels, but apparently it's Fire Emblem for PC.
Surely not Fire Emblem.
Apparently something to do with Fire Emblem. For everyone who doesn't own a Nintendo, Fire Emblem is like those games on Nintendo. So
no, it's not, but yeah, okay. Yeah, for our listeners, we had a hearty debate before this.
It took like fucking 45 minutes.
Where I then had to sift through Google on multiple articles which did the comparison to prove to Pete that it was indeed just like Fire Emblem.
Yes. I mean, it's a shocker that turn-based tactical RPG as a genre has a lot of crossover, but it turns out it does. Again, I think the big significant difference is squares to hexes, but Ben tells me it's something about the combat which looks janky and awkward animations.
Now he's just like putting it down.
Yeah, now he's angry.
We know what he's doing. We're well aware of what Pete is doing. That's fine.
He just didn't know.
I will say, I'm such a cunt. I will say, the UI does look nice. Particularly the character screens look really good, like the equipment, etc. screens. They look really good. And long shots, vistas look pretty nice in this. I do just think the personal combat looks really janky and awkward from where they've taken it. But that may just be me. Who knows?
Looks quite good though, and I think the previews of it look very good as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Okay.
Fine, fuck you. Next one, Sunday Gold, coming out on PC, October 13th. Sunday Gold is a point-and-click, turn-based adventure game set in a grim dystopian future. In a grim dystopian future. Am I being too pedantic here?
No, that's one the editors missed.
Yes. Yeah. Play as a ragtag trio of criminals to hunt down and expose the dark secrets of an evil mega corporation and the malevolent. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, whatever. Malevolent. Come on, guys.
Malevolent.
I still can't say it. Malevolent. Fucking hell. Malevolent. Oh, I still can't say it.
You taught English for over a year.
Many moons I taught English. Malevolent. Yes! Fucking nailed it. The trick is to quickly go over the A. That's it. Billionaire behind it. There you go, Pete.
What was the first part of the sentence? I forgot it now.
Malevolent.
Doesn't matter. You had your moment in the sun. Move on.
Can I never say that word again?
No, you can't. You did it once.
You never said it before.
No, he did get it once. He got it once. Close enough.
Oh yeah, the once in your lifetime.
So this is a fully voice-acted point-and-click adventure.
Malevolent.
Interesting art style to it. Reminds me a lot of Disco Elysium, Ben, in terms of like what they're trying to conjure, if not in actual delivery. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it gives that. It's got that vibe of. Yeah, it's very vibrant, but it's got that dystopian feel to it. It's unlike Disco Elysium, which is not vibrant, but it's still got that dystopian feel.
We saw this somewhere, didn't we?
Wait! I can do the Kershaw classic. Yeah. It's like Disco Elysium mixed with cyberpunk.
Nice.
There we go.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Maybe Dark Souls mixed in there as well.
I don't know if we did talk about this one again, Ben, but it did feel vaguely familiar to me. So
we've seen this, definitely. I've definitely seen this, and I've definitely talked to you guys about this before. I think
we have.
Interesting.
Yes.
Did it have a console release? Because it definitely hasn't released for PC yet.
I think we just saw it on one of the many fucking.
It might have got delayed. It might have got delayed. I think.
Oh, okay.
That could be it.
Anyway, it looks very good.
It does, yes.
Okay. Triangle Strategy PC October 13th. It's a PC release, to be.
It's a PC release of a Nintendo game, Ben. Yeah. It was Switch originally.
No, it's Square Enix.
Yeah, but it's a Switch release originally, right?
Yes, it was original. Yeah, first on Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Octopath Traveler vibes. Like that's what this is. So I think
2D
it came
HD
out in March or something for the Switch, and it's now coming to PC.
Yeah, rave reviews. A lot of people love it. So yeah. If you like Octopath Traveler, probably will like this. Slightly different combat, but still that same 2D HD style that Square are now getting fantastic at.
It looks lovely. I'll say that.
Yes.
Next one, Trifox. Coming out on Switch, October 13th. And it's coming out on PC and Xbox on October 14th. There you go. Yeah. Trifox is a colourful and cartoonish action-adventure featuring a phenomenal fox with a multitude of talents. Choose from a trio of classes, warrior, mage, engineer, or mix and match abilities to create a tailor-made hero inspired by the golden age of 3D platformers. Don't you love it when they say that?
Oh, God, yeah. And by that they mean things like Spyro, Croc, Ratchet and Clank style stuff.
Fucking Crash Bandicoot vibes. Exactly. Massive Crash Bandicoot vibes.
Exactly, yeah. That I think tells you everything you kind of need to know with this one. If you like those, you'll probably like this.
Absolutely. 100%.
It does kind of feel like it was made for Switch first, by the way, Ben.
Well, it's coming out on Switch first.
Indeed. And it really does feel like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it could work really well on the Switch, and I do know what you mean. And yeah, I think if you're a massive Crash Bandicoot fan, this could be right up your street. There we go.
All right. There we go. Winter Games 2023.
What a great name that is, because when you search for it on Google, you do not come up with it.
Yes, I know. Then you have to type in video game, and even then it's a fucking tough ask, isn't it?
I know. Even then it's 5 down the list.
Jeez. Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, October 13th. Winter Games 2023 is a classic sports game in a modern guise. The player can prove his or her athletic ability in 10 dynamic winter sports disciplines. For example, ski jumping, biathlon, ski cross, skeleton, or Super G. What's Super G?
I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know.
I want a Super G.
This is the funny thing. G? I know quite a few people who are interested in skiing, snowboarding, yourself included, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know any of them clamouring for a game version of it.
Well, you've got some Super G fans out there.
Oh, Super G is Super Giant Slalom. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So skiing.
Okay.
Right.
It's a skiing game.
It's skiing. It's skiing.
It's a decent-ish looking sports game for some very niche sports.
It's like the Winter Olympics type.
It's like the Winter Games 2023, Ben. That's what it's like.
Actually, yeah, very aptly named. Very aptly named. They just didn't want the license of the Olympics, so they just called it Winter Games.
Nice. Yeah. Save some money. All right, next one, biggie. Scorn. PC and Xbox Series X. October 14th. Don't know if it's on the others. Pete's put that, so believe that, people. Scorn is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry.
Somber tapestry.
I know. That's all their blurb as well. Their blurb is one sentence. Love that.
You say in your blurb, it's one sentence at the end, it just says somber tapestry. That makes me think nothing happens in your game.
Well, we're going to find out because it comes to Game Pass, doesn't it? So we're probably all going to play this.
We're going to play
We're going to play it, yeah.
Insanely good-looking art, it's got to be said, albeit deeply graphic at points.
Yeah, it's really creepy, isn't it?
That's going to be great fun when we all dig into this weekend. To me, it reminds me a bit of Prometheus.
Yes, yeah. A lot of the screenshots I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Inspired by the Alien franchise.
That would make a lot of sense. Form, I think. There we go. That would make a lot of sense. But at least in the imagery, a lot of it seems more Prometheus than Alien or Aliens. Yeah. If you know what I mean. I suppose Alien was mostly a shit. Yeah. Environment in the game is designed to be almost a character in itself. And I get the feeling that the game's going for a bit of a holistic experience-based approach. You know what I mean? It's not like an enemy to seek out. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And so there were previews of this. And I listened to one guy talk about it. And he said that not a lot happened in his time playing it. And I don't know, it's I think atmosphere first.
Yes.
I think that's what it's going for. And I don't know whether that's representative of the final game. I don't know. But I don't think it's like combat based or anything. I think I'm intrigued, and I think it's relatively short in terms of modern gaming, sub 10 hours. So yeah, I'm definitely up for it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same. Cool. Maybe I'll have what we've been playing next week.
Yeah, I think we'll all have it on it.
Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival coming out on Switch October 14th. I think I did that really well. I hope Pete's copy and pasted this. It just says finding blurbs for Nintendo sucks.
It does though. Pete's not wrong.
I did not copy and paste that. That is just the truth. Literally, it's
not wrong.
Such a nightmare. And I spent about 10 minutes searching various sources for a blurb for one game and went, nah, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't understand this game series. I don't understand how it is as long-lived as it is. It's a rhythm-based game. Fans are going to know it and will probably like it.
For absolutely. If you're a fan of it, you know it's coming out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But no, you did do the name well, Eddie. I thought you were going to butcher that, and actually you kind of came through unscathed.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm literally currently, I've got Malevolent literally up, and I'm putting the pronounced thing over and over again on Google.
And you're still failing it.
Malevolent. So they pronounce it with an E. They go fuck off.
Malevolent.
Malevolent.
There you go.
Yes.
I'm literally copying it as the woman says it, so I can't physically go wrong.
I'm quite intrigued. He got this name of this game right, which is very difficult, but struggled with the word heads.
Yeah, Heeds, Ben. I think you'll find it was Heeds.
It was Heeds. It was Heeds.
I got hit in the heed.
Yeah.
Ben, do you want to take over the reading? Is that what you want to do?
No, Ben didn't do it while you were away as well, and he's
for our listeners, right before the podcast, for our listeners, just to really piss me off, they went, Eddie, I think you should do the rhythm. Knowing that I hadn't read anything before because I haven't had any time to prep, so they've gone, it'd be funny. Eddie will read a stupid word and we'll laugh at him.
No, we didn't say that. We said you're better.
I said specifically. Ben said you're better and more passionate.
Yes, I said you're better and more passionate. Pete added that it would be funny.
No, I said it was funny first, Ben. Let's get there.
But I was on your side, Eddie. I was on your side. So Pete's the real cunt here.
See how Ben turns it. When I said about Ben reading, he turns it. That's very smart.
Indeed. Ben, I think Ben's having a bit of a renaissance after the last 2 weeks where he hasn't been able to viciously attack anything. And is now just having a go because there's a third person here as a buffer.
Yes.
I feel there might be some bitterness about never getting anything into the second round in our top threes, but I tried to help you this time, Ben. I tried to help you. I'm just saying.
That may be true, but you don't have to say it.
Hey, Pokemon's the best RPG of all time.
That's his first and only victory.
All right, last one. Destiny's Sword coming PC October 17th. Destiny's Sword is a living narrative graphic adventure. Why are we all now going? Why are we all now not putting game after this?
It doesn't need.
Is
the
this
word
a
game.
new
We all
fucking?
know it's a game.
But
We all
why
know
has
it's a
this
game.
started happening? Who
Because
agreed
it's an
this?
adventure.
Did the king of gaming just all of a sudden go, right, let's just get rid of the word game after all this?
Yeah.
So
Jeff
when you say
Keighley
to your
did an
mate,
announcement about it.
Eddie, when you're going on a little walk and you say, "Hey, we're going on an adventure," you don't say we're going on an adventure game.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a game, is it, Ben? What are you talking about?
That's an actual adventure, Ben, not a game at all.
This is a lovely adventure.
You know,
as
real
well.
life isn't a game, Ben. Right? You're not in VR.
It's all
No wonder he's struggling so much lately. He keeps trying to use
It's all a game. It's all a game, Eddie.
game.
And if you don't realise that, you're playing it wrong.
Oh shit, that's dark. Am I going to go rob a bank now? Jesus Christ. Explore distant worlds, forge friendships, and lead your troops through an epic adventure.
Nicely
Game.
pulled back there. Yeah, this is a sci-fi narrative game based on the work of a novelist called M.D. Cooper. I don't know him. Apparently author of the Aeon 14 series. It's really heavily focused on the characters and their mental health, because in the setting, physical injuries can be repaired really easily. So it feels a lot like, those bits in the Mass Effect series where you're on the ship and you have to run around and talk to everyone?
Yeah.
That feels like that's the main focus of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it looks. I think it looks really good. It's that graphic novel, sci-fi type stuff. There's like combat in the graphic novel and all that. I imagine there's choices. I think it looks really good.
I think it could be.
Really
I'd like to see a bit more about it. Like, you know what I mean? I'd just like a bit more detail. A couple of in-depth reviews.
It seems like an odd name for the game from what I saw in terms of pictures and video. To be called Destiny's Sword. Weird.
Well, I kind of went with it as like similar to Edge of Tomorrow from that Tom Cruise film. You know what I mean? It's like it's probably encapsulating something as opposed to giving you a breakdown of it. So maybe it'll make more sense on playing.
My question to you two is, who's going to give the pick of the week there? You've both put in quite a bit of effort here.
That's fair. It's definitely Eddie.
What? Why me? I've done no research.
Exactly.
Fuck you guys. I thought Triangle Strategy looked quite good.
That came out in March.
Okay.
Oh, fuck you then. To really fuck both of you, I think Goal the club manager. There you go.
I love it. Fantastic. Goal the
Pete,
club
what
manager.
about you? Because that is now null and void.
All right, Ben, how about this one? PC Building Simulator 2. How about that?
I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
I would have said Time Melters.
Yeah, and I also would have said Time Melters. It's all one word if you're looking it up, but it's only on PC, unfortunately. It looks fucking outstanding.
Yeah, although we're all going to play Scorn, so...
Yeah,
that's because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, boy, it's on Game Pass. Right, and we're on to what we've been playing. We'll start with Eddie.
Oh. Really? You're going to start with me? I have been playing absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Literally, absolutely nothing. I even took my laptop up to my parents where I stayed for the first week. Because I was like, well, maybe... But because I stayed with my parents, I haven't seen in a while, and my missus... I literally tried to get away. Ben, I tried to get away a couple of times to play Warzone, didn't I? And failed.
Yes, you did. You did. You couldn't, and it was causing some distress.
I mean, I couldn't even
amongst the
fucking
family.
join the podcast, for God's sake. And then, of course, I was away out of the country for a week. So, unfortunately, I haven't played a game. You know what? I haven't even played a game since I've been back. I came back was it late last night, and today I went out and played golf and saw a mate, and I got back just in time for the podcast. So I haven't played anything. And I think I'm quite upset because I was looking at that Cyberpunk offer when I before I went away.
It's not an offer anymore, is it?
And it's not there now. So
No.
I've missed that.
No, it's not.
Which...
Don't worry, it'll be on sale again in like a month and a half, Eddie.
Yeah, I looked this morning on the old, the good websites, the couple of good ones.
Yeah.
But they're not good deals either.
Still expensive. Yeah, I looked on CD Keys for Cyberpunk to see if I could get it on Steam Deck.
Really upset.
But
on the other hand, I haven't checked it yet, but I've got 2.5 weeks worth of Xbox Game Pass games that have been released in the past 2.5 weeks to go through.
Indeed.
There might be one or two in there.
And on Friday you've got Scorn. So lovely job. And then the next week you'll have a Plague Tale.
Yeah, it's not far
Requiem.
away. It's not
Spoilers
far away.
for next week. Next week's new releases.
You can't do spoilers for new releases.
I mean, spoilers also feels a bit tricky when people can just go, "What's coming out in October?"
Yeah.
Spoilers for next week's podcast.
Starfield is coming out. Spoilers for January at some stage. February.
Spoilers for next November.
Starfield,
Yeah.
Starfield isn't coming out. No, for anybody listening, Starfield is not coming out in either January or February.
Damn
Don't get your
it.
hopes up.
I want my hopes to be up.
If it comes out next year, then we're doing all
I
right.
want my hopes shattered. God damn it! God.
I do.
If it comes out any time next year, we're in a positive place. Right. So this week, I haven't played an awful lot either. I did start Dead Space 2 on stream, didn't I? So I just talked briefly about that because it's phenomenal. Like I can't remember having so much fun playing a game on stream, and it's just such an easy play, isn't it? And I know we've all played Dead Space and we all love it. I played Dead Space 1 not too long ago on Game Pass, before the remake and everything was all announced, but I didn't want to play Dead Space on stream because it's too close to the remake coming out. So go for the second one, and it does play so well, it controls so well as well, and it's a 360 game. And it says what we said this all along, haven't we? Like, when you're in those confined spaces in horror games and stuff, horror games still hold up to this day because of the lighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Massively
Like,
so.
lighting can really help with how things look graphically. I think it looks wonderful, and it's on our YouTube channel now if you want to check out the first part. I'll be streaming again Thursday, 7 p.m, but again, YouTube and Twitch, so
I feel like we needed
available
Kirk
there. Come check us
to
out.
caveat your comment on good Dead Space.
yeah, we need a balance.
Yeah,
but
we
I don't
do.
think we do need balance because Kirk is just wrong and everybody says Dead Space is great.
Yeah, it's universally well received except by Kirk. So
Yeah.
Hey, you played it for half an hour. Come on.
no, 20 minutes, Eddie. 20 minutes.
Oh,
That's-
fuck. How do you
Yes,
even get
20
past like the first bit in 20 minutes?
I honestly think he maybe just misunderstood how to load the game and then gave up. I don't know.
I mean, what the thing about those games is that they have objective markers where you can just like press the thing and it just tells you where to go, like we mentioned earlier. And it's actually quite. You don't get that in a modern game, in a really modern game. And it is very handholdy, but it just allows you to just fucking enjoy it and not think too much. So it is great fun. And the idea of Callisto Protocol, like we talked about earlier, and the Dead Space remake coming soon, like, fills me with joy now. Like, because it really is a solid, really, really solid game.
Yeah.
I just can't get it. And I'm actually interested after this one playing Dead Space 3, and I know that's not as good, and I have played it before, but I can't really remember much about it, but I see where it goes. But I also have been playing, so I wanted to buy some games for the Steam Deck because I haven't got an awful lot on my Steam Deck, and what I have got on there I have now played. So I was trying to think of games that, you know, those ones that you think, I should have that on there. And because Steam or CD Keys and stuff always has great prices, I've seen that Horizon Zero Dawn is £8 on CD Keys, and No Man's Sky is £13, and the Skyrim Special Edition is £10. Like, those prices are insane, right?
Yeah.
But then when I was looking through on CD Keys, I found Days Gone.
Oh, nice.
And I've only played the briefest amount of Days Gone when it came out. I think multiple games came out at that time, and I played a little bit. I was like, I can't really be bothered. And it was £12. And I know it's on, if you've got PS Plus Premium or something like that, you can get it, I think, on your PlayStation. And I think you get it with the free PS5 games. So I think I've got it on PlayStation for free, actually. But to have it in handheld is great. And I love a zombie game. I've been playing The Last of Us 2 again recently. I'm not a huge fan of the controls of Days Gone in general. I don't think it's like that great and responsive, but it might be after I played it more. I've played 2 hours on it, but it runs fantastically on the Steam Deck. And it is just, I wanted something which would look really good, you know? Like something to show off like how the Steam Deck actually plays. And this game, I think even now it's got a bit cult status, hasn't it? Like, and I know, I think you're interested in it as well.
Oh, it's
Eddie,
happened.
weren't you?
Yeah. No, I remember when
Yeah,
you
and-
played it originally and you were like, meh. I was really disappointed
Yeah.
because I really liked the game look of it.
Well, because it's an open world zombie game, like I actually want to try and get into it, you know, and especially handheld. So I played it whilst watching the football last night.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, that's the way to go. But honestly, £12 on CD keys if you're looking to get it on PC.
Nice.
Like, it's fucking bargain. Like, I was looking down the Steam store, and a lot of these games like Horizon and like the PS4 games that have come over, they're all very, very expensive. But I went on CD keys and it was just, the prices were fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, £8 for Horizon. I was thinking, well, do I just get it just to have it? But I had to stop myself buying like Horizon, No Man's Sky, and Skyrim. I think I do need to get Skyrim because you do have a hankering to play it sometimes at Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, and you have to have it.
So,
you have to have it.
Yeah, you have to have it. Yeah. But I even had No Man's Sky, and I had to stop myself getting No Man's Sky because I was like, oh, that would be amazing to have it natively on this. And then I was like, no, because it will. Every time I've played it No Man's Sky so many times, and every time I play it, I go, this is going to be great. And then I start playing a new game and I go, oh, fuck, can't be arsed. So, and I knew that would happen again. So I'm so glad that I bought Days Gone because it's actually a game I genuinely wanted to play. But yeah, we've got a host of games coming out in the next couple of weeks. So we will have loads more to talk about next week. But yeah, that's me for the week, really.
Yes, indeed. And that leaves me with the only actual game that none of us have played before, I think, which is Neon Abyss.
Lovely.
Yeah, so this was from VWO Games, but it's published by Team 17, the guys obviously behind Worms.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I mean, it originally came out in July 2020. It was an Xbox Game Pass Day 1, I believe, as well, back then, but it just slipped under the radar for ages. And I suppose it was because of playing a few roguelites that I kind of was like, yeah, I should play this at some stage. And I finally got a chance to do so. So it is a roguelite. It's a run-and-gun shooter with... Well, it's side-scrolling perspective, but you also have a little bit of like twin stick mechanics to it. That was the only bit I didn't really like, was you were using the right trigger to aim and fire. That was a bit weird, but it's actually really fun. Otherwise, it takes a lot from dungeon crawlers, and yeah, I mean that should tell you enough about how it plays. It's got a great soundtrack. It's very cyberpunk in style. It's very mesmeric. There's a whole range of characters to unlock and play as, and the runs themselves are really fun. I think I got through 3 this afternoon. The first one, obviously a bit experimental. I ended up with a gun that was a cat, firing fish bones.
Sorry.
It's very random, Eddie. You've got to get used to that. It's very, very random. I could also float everywhere with a balloon tied to my belt. That made me float, apparently. That was interesting. Yep. I died horribly to the second boss, as you do in these games when you're learning. My second run went a lot better. Got a lot further through, and then I had to reset the game because of a well-known bug.
Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes you can't drop down through the floor anymore, and that's, you wouldn't think would be a major issue, except when you're in a room where both exits are at the bottom and you're at the top. That's kind of the end of that run. So that was a bit disappointing. But the third run, I almost got through the entire thing. I got to the last level, which is the 5th level. I was having a great time collecting loads of upgrades, collecting loads of the pets which you get, which you find eggs as you roam around. They turn into pets as you go on. And each of those pets give you buffs for your run. So I had something like 6 in this run. I had an insane amount of health and shields. I was going really well. I picked up another upgrade for my weapon called Popcorn, which just says your rounds now explode when they reach the end of their trajectory. Look forward to the show. I was like, this will be great, fantastic. Forgot the fact that those explosions also damage you.
Oh no.
So in a really tight alleyway fight, I was having great fun watching everything die horribly around me, and then was like, oh my god, my health's so... I'm dead. And was like, well, that's disappointing. So...
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I just didn't... You know when you lose, you stop paying attention to your health because you've been just walking for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's just like... gone. Yeah. Every one of those explosions was like a bomb going off in the game and was damaging me significantly, and I just didn't notice in that particular narrow room. So that was a shame. That said, the gameplay loop is really fun. It's classic roguelike. It did the same sort of thing to me as Hades did, Ben. Like the moment you picked it up, you wanted to keep playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite funny, actually. You're tasked to do to sort of go into the game by a guy called Hades.
Right.
Yeah, which you meet him in this sort of crazy cyberpunky club, which is also your reset place. So every time you die, you go back into this club. You can do upgrades at the bar, There's a lab and a couple of other things around where you can check weapons and upgrades and all this sort of stuff. But mostly it's a club where you can have a little dance before you go back in, jumping into the abyss.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like, Eddie. Yeah.
You can have a little dance.
You quite literally can. Yeah. So it's actually a really fun little game. And I say little game because it is quite a short, like it's only 5 levels to get through. Right. Each of those is multiple interlocking rooms, obviously, as all good dungeon crawlers are, but it's not the longest out-and-out run. So I think a lot of its value comes from the different characters and the different ways to play.
Yeah, so maybe this is a good kind of entry point for people who aren't into roguelites.
Definitely, I'd say so, yeah. If you go into it with an open mind, and again, it is on Game Pass, so it's completely free. It's not costing you money if you've got the subscription. It'd definitely give you a good chance to jump into roguelikes.
Lovely.
It's great
Good
fun.
stuff. Well, that's a game none of us have ever played. That's good stuff.
Indeed. Yeah, there we go. And that takes us through our very trim what we've been playing section for this week. As we did say it was. Fortunately, I think we made up for that with the sheer length of the news and the new releases. So, yes, Eddie, that's how you spell it. Are you just copying that down the page? So
Malevolent.
You keep repeating it to yourself.
Malevolent. That was better.
Yeah,
that was good.
Okay. That was better.
Yes.
Yeah, that was, nailed it, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Approach it phonetically, Eddie. Approach it phonetically and you'll get there.
See, you know why? Because I keep on going Malel. Right, that's it. That's what my problem. Malevolent. Oh, fucking nailed it.
He's got it.
I knew if I just kept on fucking repeating the word. Ah, yes, I'm so proud of myself.
Well, that's not actually our feature, though. Our feature is on cheating, as we talked about at the beginning. While we could sit here for 10 to 20 minutes listening to Eddie repeat this word,
Malevolent.
I feel it's probably a better conversation to be had. So I think we've probably all experienced cheating in video games at some point. We've possibly all taken part in it at some point or other.
Sorry? Sorry? No? What?
Sorry?
We'll come to why when I say that, because I'm pretty sure if you haven't done rare candy, then you're lying to my face. Let's start with that.
Oh, the rare candy sheet.
Yeah, you've both done that, and I know it. Don't give me anything. Anyway, let's talk initially about motivation of players to do it, because I know initially we were mostly looking multiplayer, weren't we? So Warzone for you guys is a good starting point.
Yeah, well, I think somebody just generally playing, like, it just seems like such a low thing to do. So we play a lot of Warzone, a lot of first-person shooters, and there are anti-cheats, but they just don't seem to catch people. We've said it before, haven't we, when we've been playing Eddie, where it's just like, oh, that person, it looks sus when they've killed you. And the thing is, there's motivation on the other person. I don't know what the motivation is on the person doing it, because it can't seem that fun, but it just ruins someone else's experience. Yeah, so for the general player, like, I do think it does impact quite a bit when you're playing. I mean, you've experienced it quite a bit, Eddie, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's devastating, especially on games that are like big, long games, like Escape from Tarkov or Warzone, where you think to yourself, it's just ruined a half an hour's worth of gaming.
Escape from Tarkov must be terrible if you can cheat on that. Yeah. Like, that would be...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't seen it...
because it's so meaningful when you die.
Yes, exactly. When you die, it's devastating because you've lost a lot of stuff. But the lucky thing is, I think I've very been sussed about a couple of them. But apart from that, I haven't had any problems. So it's not too bad. But it's Warzone. That's the killer for me.
And Warzone is coming to the end of its life cycle, and that's why you're left with either hackers or demons.
Or bots.
So you're left with people who are amazing at the game, or hackers.
Yeah.
Or us.
Wasn't this a big thing in PUBG a little while ago as well, where there were loads of bots coming into it?
Who calls it PUBG?
I've got to admit, Pete, I've heard players unknown, and I've heard of PUBG. I've never heard of PUBG. Thank you, Ben. It took me a second to think, what game's he talking about? Oh, that's brilliant.
Either way, this was, I think, a major issue for them a little while ago. It was just the sheer amount of bots that come into it. And I question the value of bots in particular, because what are you even getting out of that? What Like, where's the motivation at all?
So this is another thing. Like in terms of cheating, you could use a VPN to get yourself in easier lobbies. And by doing that, you win more. You get your KD up. A lot of people do that to farm their KD and get it better. And it's just a clout thing, isn't it? Like, oh, I've got this KD. Okay, right, fine, that's cool. But what about MMOs? I mean, I'm trying to work out where the most where it hits hardest. Because in like Warzone, for example, if we come across a hacker in Warzone and they kill it, we're still having fun because we're playing with our mates.
Yeah.
But MMOs hit a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a fair question. I mean, the most common ones you see are things like buying gold. So you have gold farmers out there who just all they're there to do. I think at some point it was basically seen as like there were sweatshops gold farming in World of Warcraft in particular. Yeah, and then selling that gold, and people would be buying this in order to get an obvious benefit in the game. There was also a huge thing about buying profiles where people would just level up a profile with characters.
I heard about this. You told me about
and then people would buy them. And then the one that we always see even today is farming bots who just come in and farm resources. They're still there.
In Warzone, you can do that. You can get someone to level up your profile overnight to unlock all the weapons and the skins and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean,
attachments.
You can kind of see the motivation there, can't you? Because it's like you've immediately got a ready-made ending.
Yeah, and you don't want to do it. You can't be bothered to do it. Like I can understand pain. That's not really cheating. That's not really cheating.
And this is why, by the way, that Blizzard brought in the level boost. Partially was just to kind of go like, we can just have it for money instead of paying someone to do it. And I mean, beyond that, the obvious examples come from sort of like early raiding, which was when people didn't like the raids, they just wanted to finish them, or like they wanted to finish first and claim world or server first. So there was even a story, this is in original classic World of Warcraft, as it were, the first version of it. There's a raid called Ankh-Kiraj, which is a 40-man raid. And a group of people modded the files to skip the entire raid, which is about 4 hours long, to get to the final boss. So they just modified it so the stairs you enter through just take you straight to the final boss.
So in that regard, Pete, I know world's first and stuff like that is a bit weird, but do you consider, is it wrong? Is cheating in video games wrong? It's just a game. Is it wrong? Like doing what you're talking about there, is it wrong?
Well, Blizzard clearly thought so because they permabanned every single one of them.
There you go, yeah.
Like literally permabanned the entire guild, I think. Well, they figured out who'd actually been behind it. So, yeah, I mean, in games like this, yes, definitely, because you've got, teams like Method and the ones who actually put all the time in to go for it. And for them, it's almost a second job, if not their actual job.
Yeah.
To then have someone modding game files in the background in order to cheat you of it.
Yeah, I think if
there'd be annoyance.
I think if it negatively affects other people, then yes, I think it's bad.
Yes. That's kind of the thing. And I think, if you see someone who's getting constant headshots in an FPS, surely that's got to get annoying, even if you're still having a laugh with your mates.
Yeah, it's quite devastating when you spend 20 minutes getting all your loot or whatever, and then someone just pops you in the head because they've got a cheat on. Yeah. Yeah,
it's just someone who doesn't want to be on a level playing field. They just want to look good. They don't care about actually getting good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when you mess with other people. That's the issue, I suppose.
Yes, and this, by the way, was like when I mentioned at the beginning, and the question I wanted to ask was sort of, what's the view in single-player games? Because for me, for instance, in quite a few games, if there's a console, I will use it at points. Like Eddie, RimWorld, console commands. Probably 30 to 40% of my playthroughs I play with console commands.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I think cheating, if it affects other people, is completely wrong. So it's difficult with single-player games. I think, let's get this out of the way, I think if you're streaming a single-player game and you're cheating, I still think that's wrong, because I think you're negatively affecting people. You're kind of showing them that a game is so easy, and that might might upset them or whatever. So I still think I know all the Minecraft speedruns. Have you seen how many cheats there are of people going, I claim to do this? I don't like that, because it's negatively affecting actual speedrunners who have taken their time to learn a game, to really work hard at it. So I think that's bad. But no, I think if it's a single player, you're offline and you're playing by yourself, and you're cheating, I wouldn't recommend it, because I think I've said on this podcast before, when I've cheated in Football Manager, for example.
The whole thing's lost.
The whole thing's lost. It takes away the reward of actually like winning a game.
You're devastated in yourself.
Exactly, and I've done it in RimWorld. I've done it in RimWorld a lot, and it really makes me go, like, in the next encounter when the guy that should have been dead kills someone, I go, oh, well, he shouldn't have been alive. He should be dead. And it ruins the whole thing for me. Don't get me wrong, Pete. I use the console commands a lot where I have just simply forgotten something. Like, I forgot that, my person has a disease and therefore is just about to die. And I go, oh, fuck. No, that's not really my fault. I just fucking forgot. I don't have a mod that, reminds me that they've got a disease. So then I do use console. But... yeah, my thing is, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, like everything, really.
Well, so this is an interesting point you raised, though, because most of mine in RimWorld are to change the start. Much like most of the mods I have, things like Map Designer, it's like messing around with how it starts up. And it's the same in things like Stellaris, where if you want to set up a really unique start point, you kind of have to use console commands, because so much is randomized otherwise. But it brings me back to when you were saying about if people are streaming this sort of stuff. Or putting it on videos. Now, think about City Skylines, for instance. A lot of the people who play that are looking to see what you can make as opposed to win the game. It's what can I make in this sandbox environment. So I think in sandboxes, it kind of, the content itself is the reward, not the actual winning the game or not. So if they're trying to make, like, I don't know, Las Vegas, recreate Las Vegas, and they turn on console commands, fair play to them.
You know what? I'm going to link this again to Minecraft, and that's a really good point, Pete, because I love seeing the creations that people make in Minecraft. Someone's made all of the Lord of the Rings world in it.
Mate, someone's trying to recreate the universe.
Well, there you go.
Universe,
and it is really quite incredible just to watch the creation, isn't it? So, I think in some circumstances, I think it's great.
Yes, indeed. But coming on to streamers, and I suppose diving into it a bit more, we should probably talk about Nadia, shouldn't we? Because I know, Ben, you follow her.
Yeah. She so she's a Call of Duty streamer. She's a Warzone streamer. She plays Rebirth a lot. So for those that aren't familiar, that is a mode of the Battle Royale. And she is excellent. She's an incredible Call of Duty player. She has made some outlandish claims, they might be right or not, that she's the best female player. She's got an 8 KD and all this kind of stuff. So and she is masterful at the game. Like I've shown Eddie clips, and you've seen your own, haven't you? Like she is, some of the things that she does it's just simply amazing. And I watch her on Twitch all the time. And she's gained an incredible popularity over recent months, pretty much from June, July onwards. But she has had heavy accusations of cheating. There's no proof. There's like videos of different things and things look sus. But to be honest, that can happen when A, you're using a controller, and B, when you're slowing things down to a certain degree. Anything I think can look, anybody talking and saying this looks sus and explaining something as something's happening, you're more inclined to believe that. So I can understand all this kind of stuff. And she had a showing at the Modern Warfare 2 event recently, where she went with a load of good top Call of Duty players, and they played Modern Warfare 2. And some of the game she didn't do very, very well. But she is against top players, and a lot of people kind of have been calling her out. So what we wanted to do was kind of step away from the is she cheating or not, because we don't know, and to me she just looks like an incredible Call of Duty player. But the question really is, when you're streaming, and this is what you do for a living, you earn your living. She gets 400 subs a day, earns a very, very good living, I'm sure. Being a streamer is more than just doing the game, but you've got to show that you're good at the game to be a good streamer. And is it wrong if you're cheating and you're playing this almost caricature of yourself by being a streamer to earn a living? So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. I'm going to let Eddie go first.
Yes, because it's because it's negatively affecting others. I think that if you want to be a streamer, like, if you're making a living for this, I don't think you should be using an unfair advantage over other people, because I think it's unfair on the next guy who's not cheating, who is trying really hard to be a streamer and make it his day job, and he's getting overtaken by people.
That's
who are
a good
cheating.
point.
And beyond that, everyone in that lobby is still suffering for that cheating.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, the audience watching the stream isn't, but everyone playing against it is having a crap half hour. If they are. You know what I mean? Like, you're still ruining it for the other players. A streamer at the start of it is still a gamer. You're a rubbish example of a gamer if you're cheating. And we're not saying she is.
No, we're not saying she is.
No.
What about if you were not impacting other players who were playing that game and you were just streaming again? Like, so it's almost like you're cheating at the game to make out like you're better at the game. However, you're providing an entertainment that people are paying for with their subscriptions. I know they're of the belief that you are doing this truthfully, but actually they're paying for entertainment. So where does that stand? I'm just thinking like the lines of gamer and presenter or like personality kind of collide a little bit, and there is a blurred line in my opinion.
I mean, there's a potentially blurred line for sure, but I think the problem is if you're revealing the fact that you're cheating, as I mentioned with the City Skyline players, etc., I don't think it's a problem at all.
People would, that's different. Yeah, but if you were playing Warzone, then
but it's also if you're playing even a single player game, if you're not admitting to the fact that you're cheating and you're cheating, you're still. I mean, I suppose you could still provide endless hours of entertainment for people, but the moment they find out, you're going to lose them.
Yes, then it's not entertaining. But if they believe that you're not cheating, then they see it as superhuman, and so then it's entertaining. So
it's all based on a fabrication, though, isn't it?
It is. You're lying. Yeah.
It is. It is based on. You're absolutely right. It is based on a fabrication, but with the belief that it's true, it's entertaining.
I still come at it from your game. You're a gamer first. Like, that's the key thing. Every streamer is a gamer first. I will say on Nadia herself, I know she's taken a lot of flack for this, but I did like the amount of heat that came back on a guy called Shroud after he was asked about this.
Yeah.
On a guy called Shroud, the biggest first-person shooter of all time.
Yeah, I liked how Pete said that. A guy called
this
Shroud.
Tiny guy called Shrewd.
Is he called Shroud?
No, I can pronounce words. Not to put that in a
Pete, that was
way.
very malevolent of you.
He's a professional Valorant player.
Yeah, I know nothing. I know nothing about
first-person shooter.
Yeah, again, I know very little about the guy. I enjoyed the quote though, which was, "If she is on a controller, which I think she is, you're never going to figure it out, man. Controller's aim assist is pretty much the same as cheating, so who the fuck cares?"
I know, this is so funny. Like, I think somebody she was playing with, I was watching a stream, and I think somebody said that quote to her, and she was like, "Yeah, fuck. If you ever tried playing without aim assist, it's fucking impossible."
Yeah.
Like, controller's aim assist this is what, like, when people slow down videos and stuff, and like the aim assist does help, especially in slow mo. That's what it's kind of, it emphasizes it, doesn't it? It's crazy, but people get so, like, I assume the salt that you're talking about, Pete, is people coming back at him being like, "Oh,
about
PC is so much easier than console." All this kind of nonsense.
Loads of people coming back about the controller comment.
It's always the same. There will always be a battle between controller versus PC.
Especially when controller has aim assist.
I honestly think that PC people say controller's better, and controller people say PC's easier.
As you know, Ben, I've played on both, and I think for shooting, PC is so much easier. But for movement, you can't be a controller.
But this is why I think the PC gamers get so annoyed, is because obviously shooting's much easier with a mouse and keyboard. So that's why they brought in aim assist for controller.
Yes, they did. And
they
said they try.
The PC players kind of go like, "Well, if you're going to have the better movement, put up with the crap shooting. We've got crap movement. We have better shooting."
I think when you turn aim assist off completely, though, I think shooting on controller is like disgustingly difficult.
Yeah,
get good then.
I have no, but it's not.
Says a guy who plays on a controller.
I don't. I mostly play on PC.
No, you will play shooters on a controller.
Not many of them, but 100%.
100%.
I mean, what do you play Halo on, Pete?
What, Pete?
On Halo,
Like
I
what?
play on
What have you played What have you played in recent years that have you ever played on PC?
Mass Effect would be the obvious answer.
That's not a shoot. Come on now.
I mean,
You get about 25 years to shoot anybody on Mass Effect.
I played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer on mouse and keyboard. But
oh, great. Okay. Well, what a niche that. You know what, Eddie? I played Mass Effect 3
Ben,
multiplayer.
I don't play
my point.
FPS. Like, you know this.
I
don't really know what
hours
you're
of Halo.
for me.
He's played 100 hours of Halo Infinite or something. And he doesn't
on
play first-person
Xbox
shooters.
because it's on Game Pass. Like, what are you talking about?
That's on PC, Pete, as well. You know.
Yeah,
play it on PC if you wanted.
Yeah, that's fair. That is a very fair point.
That did work. Actually.
Yeah, that's the only fair point you've made.
I'm going to go against your thing there, Pete, and I think it's funny because I am a PC player, but I hate all the shit that PC players say about Amos. when you know your key bindings and you've got them all figured out to exactly how you are, and you can even get the half keyboards so that you can angle it and all that shit. I think even movement would be better on PC. Once you know, because for example, for me to fucking slide, I have to reach over to the B button and I have to hold it down. While a controller will have it, a pro would have it so that fucking, I don't know, R slides or like caps lock does something.
Oh no, you'll have all the advantages with that. It's literally just diagonals.
Yeah, I don't know, Eddie, whether.
That's all.
I think it's also you could do this on console, or you can trigger like the holding down of the button to just be a tap and shit like that.
I know that. Yeah.
But I think it might just be the movement of pros, because I don't know if it's PC or just that it's pros, because these people like Nadia's movement is insane.
Yeah, she's
like. But if I watch Average Dad, his movement is also insane. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's an interesting point about that. It is cheating, and it is obviously lying to people, and also taking money from people when they're believing something.
Yes,
which
so you're
is also
lying
another
to someone
point.
and you're gaining profit from it. That's
but
that's every.
But if you
Pretty
are of the belief that
malevolent.
it's
you messed it up again.
yeah, you did mess it up.
I've come too far the other way. I've come out the other way.
But there is some kind of point, but it's not as relevant as your points that you're making there about entertainment. There is something there, but it doesn't overshadow the points that you've been making.
Well, there we go. So cheating is bad. Is that what we agree on?
I think.
Yes.
I mean,
Cheating in multiplayer is bad. Cheating in
weird
multiplayer
feature.
is bad.
Yeah, we threw this one together because Eddie was on holiday, and there we go. That's what we ended up with.
Yeah. But
that's what we ended up with.
I think to be fair, it can be agreed on though that cheating, if it's going to disadvantage other players.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Like everything in life, if it affects people in a negative way, then just don't do it.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go.
Grumpy Gamers lesson 101.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we upset each other on a nearly minute basis.
Yes, honestly, it's a daily basis outside the podcast as well, so it's no real change, is it? But, yeah, if someone wanted to come back on us with their own opinion, how would they do so, Ben?
Yeah, if you wanted to let us know that cheating is absolutely fine, podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk is where you can email us. You can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. Our YouTube channel is Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and our Twitch is Grumpy Gamers Podcast, all one word. And we will be streaming 7 p.m. on Thursdays on both YouTube and Twitch. Catch us there.
Yes, indeed. But until then, it's GG.
GG.
Malevolent.
Oh, you nailed it.